This is the Riot Podcast. The countdown has started, Nikki.
Oh, guys, we have this week. Come on.
So here's what's going to happen. This Thursday, the Riot will be doing the Ugly Christmas Sweater Party 2.
This is our second year for this. So if you want to watch with us, normally if you're a podcast listener, you can watch us on Facebook. That'll be Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on RadioU and our RadioU Riot Facebook pages. And again, you'll watch the show.
So that's a thing. And then 1 week from today, you've got the Riot's Christmas Party on the air.
On RadioU. So we'll send some out on podcasts.
Yeah, there are lots of bands that we're going to check in with, and et cetera, et cetera. And then Nikki and I are never coming back.
Until next year.
Yeah. So then
this is the only time you could say that.
Worst of the Riot 2018 that's going to happen. That'll be podcasted as well.
That's right. But look at us. We're so far ahead. What about today?
Oh, you want to talk about today's podcast? Mm-hmm. We talk about the biggest movie flop of 2018. Which is kind of a bummer. We also talk about buying toys, Amazon's war on crap.
Yes.
Let's see, Charlie Brown, Apple TVs, Christmas stories, Teen Titans Go to the Movies, and so on and so forth.
There you go. It's a full list.
Yeah. So looking back on it, it's a lot of Christmas and a lot of superheroes.
That's all it is every day.
Not every day.
Most days it is.
Some
don't
days
look
there's
back.
Food.
You're not
Some
supposed to look
food.
back at the list.
Okay.
We're not supposed to.
Just go through it and don't evaluate.
And just say what it is, and hopefully no one will notice.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy the podcast, and we'll see you later.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Cleveland celebrates failure with a parade. We celebrate failure with the worst of the Riot.
So I didn't realize that Mortal Engines came out over the weekend. The Mortal Engines was a movie it was produced by Peter Jackson. I don't know who it was who ended up directing it. And I don't know, it was like this weird, interesting looking movie where cities are actually moving around. It's basically, I'm steampunk now. That's what it is. Like it just has this weird look. And I was like, man, that is such an interesting looking movie. They won't say how much it cost to make, but it was around $100 million or more. It made $7.5 million this weekend.
And you're like, oh, that's a pretty good amount. Not when it costs Peter Jackson costs.
They are saying that it is now the new top bomb at the box office for 2018.
I don't think I even seen a trailer for it.
Really?
I don't think so.
You may disagree, and lots of people apparently did, but I thought the trailer looked very interesting. If nothing else, it is visually interesting.
Yeah, but why did it bomb so bad?
I don't know.
You just don't know.
Okay, sometimes I watch a trailer and I love it, and then I realize me liking it is probably not good for the movie.
Sure.
And that's what I felt like looking at it. It feels like a movie that if it had come out the year after the Hunger Games came out, it would have made $100 billion.
So at a budget over $100 million, tens of millions, they said, in global marketing. So they expected to lose upwards of $100 million out of it. So it's done $42 million globally. That's it.
I haven't been to the movies in forever. And what's weird is there's a ton of movies I would like to see.
Why don't you see the Spider-Man one? That's like you in a movie.
I know. And it's the Spider-Man movie currently 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It made like $35 million over the weekend.
People love that movie.
That was good. And then what else came out was The Mule from Clint Eastwood.
The
trailer looked suspenseful.
Yeah.
It looked interesting.
Mortal Engines, Once Upon a Deadpool, which did not do well. I thought people would pony up for that. $2.6 million.
It's already out, though, so it's a weird take on it. I'm not sure it probably did as well as they wanted, but people have already seen it.
Well, the funny thing about that is I was more interested in looking at what a re-edit would look like than I think I was the actual movie.
Sure.
Just fascinating to watch how they edited it, but nothing got me into the box office this week, and I'm going to need to see Spider-Man. I'm going to need to see Aquaman, and I'd really like to see Mortal Engines, but I'll bet I don't make it.
So for Mortal Engines, it's based on a book series that's not very well known here in the United States, and it's about predator cities, mobile urban cities, centers on wheels.
They
prey on smaller cities.
They're really cool looking. They they're like big city-sized tanks that like roll across the landscape.
And you wonder why it just wasn't marketed very well. You know, why is people like, oh my gosh, why didn't we go see that? It sounds amazing.
When I saw it, I was like, that is sweet.
They should have been worried right about then.
Oh, this is sad. I know they do this with all movies, but I've already got an Amazon price right here, like pre-release price. They're like, here, order the Mortal Engines while it's still in theaters.
You can go ahead and buy it now. They don't care.
I want to see it.
The Riot believes in truth, justice, the American way, and high-speed internet. No, faster. RadioU.
What state in this great nation has the most Christmas spirit?
Most Christmas spirit.
What do you think, Nikki?
Well, I would probably pick it be someplace cold. And then, what is it, Is it Frankenmuth or something? So maybe Michigan?
I thought you were going to say it's frankincense, I think.
Oh, no. You follow the myrrh. No, I don't know. No,
it's
Michigan.
It's not Michigan.
New York.
In fact, Michigan's they're on the Grinch
the
list.
naughty list?
Yeah. The most Christmas spirit would belong to the state of Washington.
Washington, okay.
Mm-hmm. Like when you cross into Washington, all of a sudden you get a feeling.
It's like the North Pole, but not.
Yeah. Okay, and then your top 5, South Dakota, Utah, Missouri, and Maine.
So most Christmassy states?
The Grinchiest states, would be Alaska, Hawaii. But you know what? I'll tell you what the problem is with Hawaii. Hawaii is like, man, it ain't snowing here.
Yeah, but why would Alaska be on the list?
Because they're like, it won't stop snowing here.
It's the exact opposite. They're angry.
They're angry that everyone's celebrating snow, and Hawaii's just like, so they don't get it.
On this list, is it about, places that decorate and stuff, or what?
No.
What makes it like a Grinchiest state?
Okay, well, it's like this. Let me read it to you.
What's its parameters?
Of course, CenturyLink did a survey, and they said that residents of Washington go all out for Christmas. And you know what? I'm not sure what is Hawaii doesn't shine. Which states have the most Christmas spirit? The analysts at the thing compared data in 2 main categories: online activity and area culture.
Sure.
So I guess area culture would have to do with Christmas parties and decorating and things of that nature. Okay.
So that makes sense for Alaska.
This is one of the ways this is fascinating. One of the ways they determined area culture was looking at shopping trends for wrapping paper, Christmas cards, Christmas ornaments, elf on a shelf, Christmas music streaming, and tweeting.
So just how much Christmas would pop up.
Mm-hmm. And Alaska's at the bottom. Hawaii is number 2 for the worst Christmas spirit.
But it doesn't matter because you're in Hawaii.
Exactly. Well, Florida's at number 3.
Doesn't matter because you're in Florida.
Oh, but New Jersey's at 4.
That's
and
okay.
Michigan's at 5.
Aww.
See, I feel like the Hawaii and Florida makes sense because sometimes I feel like our celebration of Christmas is tied to just winter depression.
That's
You're like,
true.
I'm so depressed. I got to put lights on the outside and inside, and I'm going to eat my feelings.
And if you've never been to a place or spent Christmas where it's not cold, it's very odd. Just palm trees, that becomes your Christmas trees.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Now, let's see. RadioU flagship Ohio rates 20th in Christmas spirit. Oh.
Good enough. Just good enough.
Some of us are way into it and, killing the average.
Yeah, it's fine.
Some of us not so much.
I think we all RadioU cities were just fine.
Once again, there just wasn't enough material for Best of the Riot. Actually, there wasn't any Best of the Riot at all. None. 0. Look, it's all bad. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not bad. It's the worst. RadioU.
The war on crap! Now, crap, of course, stands for... Can't...
I was like, is it really an acronym?
It is, but it's funny because it's crap, capital C, capital R, little a, capital P. Can't realize a profit.
What's that about?
It means that... Okay, here's what it means. The glory days of online are ending, friends. You don't think that they are, but we've already passed the golden era.
Writing's on the wall.
There was a time when you could order the most ridiculous crap from Amazon, get it in 2 days, and if you were an Amazon Prime member, it was like, you just be like, I want this pack of paper, overnight it.
And that's just it. And I want maybe some pins with it, and I want it shipped in 2 separate boxes.
Yeah, and Amazon is like, whatever you desire.
Whatever. But you know what I think was the tide turning was when Amazon's tax thing started.
Yeah.
And you just saw, all right, everybody's in it to ruin everything.
Well, once they started getting hardcore about sales tax, it was like, you know what? I'm embarrassed to say this, but I could go down to Best Buy and get it cheaper.
And then your 2-day shipping became, well, technically it is. We just didn't say when we were going to go ahead and ship it.
So when we got around to shipping, it only took 2 days. But we're not shipping it today.
No one is lying at all.
Come on.
So
really?
You're right. Things aren't as sweet as they used to be.
Between that and the fact that Netflix is going to lose all their content, and they're like, no, we still got Travelers.
Which Obi won't even watch.
But it's fine, whatever. It's fine. But apparently Amazon has declared war on crap.
Yeah.
And so they are saying that basically their days of losing money on shipping are over. So one of the examples that the Wall Street Journal gives on this is that apparently Coca-Cola's Smart Water, which is a scam because there's no such thing as smart water. It's water.
But it's smart on Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
so
I mean, that's what makes it smart.
Water for them because they got you to buy it.
Charging you extra for water by just putting an adjective on the front of it, now that's smart.
Again, it's not a lie.
That's
that's
smart. So they had a minimum order for 2-day shipping for $6.99. And then,
even if you had Prime? Or
yes. So it was $7. See, again, $7 for 6 bottles of water. Perfect.
What do you want us to drink out of the toilet? Come on, some of us want some smart water.
You know what? Let's. You know what would be really smart is drinking out of the toilet.
We can't handle the
tank,
shipping.
not the bowl.
It's fine.
Okay, that's why they upped it from a minimum of a 6-pack to a 24-pack. So, like, if you want free shipping, quote unquote, if you're an Amazon Prime member that you're paying through the nose for, you have to get a minimum of a 24-pack, which would be $37. Now, granted, again, I'm not buying that stuff on Amazon, but somebody is, and Amazon's like, this is crap. Can't return a profit.
Because they just can't get their money back on things like that.
Yeah, they say they're losing money on shipping.
On certain items.
So basically, their movie pass is just taking them longer to figure it out.
I saw how they can it was an article about them dictating how things can be packaged now. So it was covering detergent. Detergent would normally come in a robust plastic sort of detergent thing.
Yeah.
We all know what it's like, but if you get a big one, and for now, they have them packaged in like a paper sort of wine box sort of thing.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's easier to ship and send out. So they can kind of dictate now how things have to go.
Man, it's the golden age of online stuff is ending. It's like the gold rush is over. Pretty soon it's gonna be just as bad as just going to a store. Might as well just go to a store.
It's bad. It'll be worse.
Could be.
I know that's how it's going to be, but let's still enjoy the good day. It might not be the glory days, but at least it's still the good days.
Let's try to enjoy the good times while they last. Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
Let's have a little bit of happiness with it.
I mean, I'm still happy.
I'm
not
fine.
mad.
The Riot is the radio equivalent of Taco Bell meat. RadioU.
Now, I have one rule and then one guideline, for myself. But I broke both of those on Saturday night. And, maybe even a third guideline we should talk about where you shouldn't buy things late at night. You just shouldn't. You never should.
You're not supposed to buy things late at night or when you're hungry.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. But
even if it's not food,
even if it's electronics,
you shouldn't
you're not
be buying
supposed
stuff
to.
when you're
Don't
hungry.
you know that rule? I mean, it's true.
It's a thing, but whatever. So Saturday night after, I went out with some friends, whatever, I'm in bed and I've got my tablet out and I'm looking through some deal of the day stuff that I hadn't looked at yet.
Dangerous.
And the rule that I broke was a toy. I bought a toy Saturday night.
Is this what you sent me?
Yeah.
It's not just a toy.
It's not.
I mean, I don't even think you were going to play with it, right?
No, it's a really just a sculpture. As you said, Nikki, it's a statement piece.
It is. It is a mighty big statement piece.
And, okay, let me set the Wayback meter to what I really think is more like a year and a half ago, but it might not have been that long. I can't remember. Do you remember I told you I had a spot in my basement that I needed something to put on it?
Yeah, I remember.
And I wanted something big and bold to put there.
Is this what you're going to put on there?
I have since determined that it's way too big to fit there. It's way too big to fit there.
Or what are you going to do?
What am I going to do with it? I'd like to try to figure out how to suspend it from the ceiling. It is a TIE fighter that I have learned is somewhere between 2.5 and 3 feet tall.
Is this new TIE fighter?
It's old. This thing, old? They made it like it's from the new trilogy, but like they made it 2 years ago and nobody bought it.
Gotcha.
It's just one of those
things. So did you
like,
get it on sale then?
It's normally somewhere between $170 and $200, and it was on sale for $50. And then I got free shipping and a 10% off code.
And that's the sweet spot there.
It was $45, and
for an art piece like that.
Oh, it's an art piece.
It's not an art piece, but it's so big it practically is.
And so I was just one of those things where I was like, you know what? You would never in a million years, like if it was August, there's no way you're buying this thing. But I had a little bit of Christmas money.
Got drunk on Christmas.
I did, and I was like, this is so awesome and weird. And it's just like one of those things where I was like, man.
And you just have to have it.
You should get it. It was like, you get this thing, and people will walk in and be like, what the heck?
So I thought when I saw the TIE Fighter, you sent me like a YouTube unboxing of it. I thought it was new then because I hadn't seen it yet. But I did think how amazing if you found some sort of mod kit and you made it into like an overhead light, like for a table or something. Idea. But it's super big and just kind of there.
I was trying to think of a way that I could maybe suspend it from the ceiling in the corner.
Yeah, just take some wires and hang it up.
The other thing that I'm not sure about is like I have a subwoofer in that corner, and I already have this metal piece on the wall that it rattles that thing, and I'm probably going to have to get rid of it.
Well, hang it on the wall then.
Yeah.
It'll just slightly shake in the suspended.
It'll just look cool.
It'll look like the TIE Fighter's moving.
It's moving.
Well, I'm glad you got it.
I can't believe I did it. But again, okay, guidelines broken. Well, first, the rule was don't buy toys. Bought a toy. 2, don't
buy big toys.
Don't shop late at night. 3, don't buy yourself something this close to Christmas.
Sure.
But I knew nobody bought this thing for me.
Hey, you're happy about it. You don't buy toys too often. You got away from doing that, and now you're back just once.
I can't wait. Now, I can't wait to get it.
If you start coming back and there's like more and more toys that you're buying, then that's opened the door, and we know you have to shut it.
No. This is fine.
When does it come?
It's either going to come Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas.
When does it fly in?
You know, it comes unassembled.
Oh, you have to build it?
You have to build it.
That's even more fun.
So the videos that I saw of people, I had a couple of thoughts watching YouTube this weekend. One is, man, why does this guy have 100,000 views? He's terrible. I should have a YouTube channel where I don't even do whatever.
Build your TIE Fighter.
Because, I mean, seriously,
and film it.
The shocking lack of talent that gets an enormous amount of views is crazy on YouTube. And I can't remember what the other thing was.
But that was more important.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
Well, I can't wait for you to get it.
I think the other thought I had was, oh my gosh, is this my tribe? Are these the people that I'm with?
They are. That was supposed to be your leader.
Yeah.
The one building the thing.
Yep. All right. Well, whatever.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on RadioU.
You know, we've said this kind of thing before, but I want to say it again. I keep looking around and I don't know. I guess it's just this year. I just keep looking around and finding people that are having a very hard time with Christmas because they've lost a loved one, they've lost a job. Like there's been some kind of loss in their life. And the holidays are this really, really fun time sometimes. And then sometimes they can be something you're like, I just want to get through this
You're
thing.
dreading.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's my thought. I can't just zip you to the other side of the holidays. You know, the only way out is through for sure. But you don't have to do this or anything else alone. I even had something over the weekend that I had to deal with that was, you know what? If I told you what it was, you'd be like, oh, Diane, that's dumb. Whatever. But it was hard for me. And you know what? I spent some time talking to God about it, and I just said, God, here's where I'm at. And the great thing is, a lot of times people think you can't be really honest with God. You hear from people like, all right, thank God for your day. And you know what? You help others and don't ask him for help yourself. All right. God helps those who helps themselves. That's made up and not real. So here's the deal. I want you to take whatever's going on today to God first thing this morning and say, God, here's where I'm at. I'm angry that person I love is gone. I'm sad that I didn't have enough money to buy the blank, blank, blank. Whatever it is in your life, you know, you can take happy stuff to God too. You can also take the in between. I don't want to go to work today. I wish it was the last, whatever it is.
That might be the bigger thought today.
It could be, but you can take anything to God and ask him for help. And you know what? Take a minute, listen. And I'm telling you, man, God always kind of lays out something and shows me like, hey, this is kind of the way to handle this thing. So look, don't go alone. You don't have to. And don't feel like you have to pretend you're okay if you're not. You can talk to God. And if you're okay, you don't have to pretend like you got drama. God is okay with you where you are. He loves you where you are right now. And if you don't have a relationship with Jesus, you know, you're missing out on an amazing friendship where God loves you so much that he's like, man, you can call me dad. You're in the family. Help yourself to the fridge. Sit down. God loves you and wants you in his family. Just say, Jesus, I need that today. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want to have a relationship with you. I want to be in your family. I need help. Here's what's going on. And you know what? Point blank right now, tell God where you're at. You know, is your heart hurting? Tell him. Are you feeling great? Tell him that too. Whatever you want. But just know that you can be 100% yourself with God. You don't have to hold anything back.
Waking up with the Riot makes your nightmares not seem so bad. Actually, you might want to just go back to sleep. Radio U.
It is the Riot on Radio U, 877-2 Radio-U. Remember that you can also take some time and visit riot.radiou.com, see what we're up to.
Get ready for Thursday.
Come on!
Because Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, we are hosting a special show that you can watch. That'll be through our Facebook pages at Radio U and Radio U Riot. And it's our Ugly Christmas Sweater Party number 2. So you can see what Christmas sweaters we go with and just hang out with us as we do Christmas stuff.
Okay, so we're doing food fights for sure during that. What have you got? We've got some Oreos and M&Ms.
We have the peppermint bark Oreos, which we never tried, and I think it's the hot cocoa M&Ms.
Okay.
And we'll see what else happens.
Maybe we'll see what else we can come up with.
Yes.
What else? Like, what's going to be our main course, though? Because remember last time we had chicken fingers, and then the time after that we had chicken McNuggets.
Well, we talked about maybe like the fast food triangle.
That's what. Okay, we need to do that the Arby sandwich. And what was the other thing?
The Wendy's chicken maple syrup one.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Wendy's, and then maybe some McDonald's fries just to throw in, or some nuggets.
Just for
some
the good
classic
times.
Chicken nuggets, something like that.
If we go into, I'll tell you what, we'll split up. Maybe you go to Arby's, I'll go to Wendy's, and you're sending me to Wendy's because I'm going to get us some, what do you call them, drinks from the freestyle machine.
Okay, that works too. And then I think Burger King maybe has a milkshake or something, or there's an Arby's. Like there's some sort of mint Oreo milkshake somewhere. Okay. We could do that.
I think the other thing I might do is like hit a grocery store or a pharmacy and see what kind of flavors of like Pepto and antacids I can find.
That also sounds just right up our show's alley.
Because we, like at the end of all this, we may find ourselves in need of assistance.
It's fine. Who doesn't feel that way around the holidays?
We may need a little help.
So if there's something that you think, oh, no, you need to be doing this for your Christmas party, please go ahead and text it to us. If you want to send it 877 to Radio U, or if you just email riot@radiou.com, we'll get them both ways.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Because we are on the lookout, obviously, for the next thing we're going to
Are you ready, Tommy? Yes, I am.
How do we train it? Is the best protocol for us to lay off all of those things leading up to, or should we really be getting it in shape?
No, I feel like we need to lay low this week.
Okay.
Lay low until Thursday, and then shock and all with like That's a shock term I haven't heard in a while. But we just like really spring it on our stomach and be like, this is what we're doing.
Referring to what we're going to eat as shock and all bothers me just a little bit.
But it works, doesn't it?
It's fine.
It's terrible that it works.
It's fine. I'll be fine. It will be fine.
So Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for our Riot Ugly Christmas Sweater Party number 2. And you can watch us then.
The peppermint chocolate chip milkshake from Chick-fil-A, says Stacy.
That sounds really good.
Oh, that'll do big.
So if we can go to as many fast food places as we possibly could.
So if we start 3 hours before the show,
we should have everything as long as it doesn't melt.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
So it's time for you to make plans to celebrate Christmas with a Christmas story. A Red Ryder BB gun with a compass in the stock. And
also known as my least favorite movie of all time. I don't understand it. I don't like the tone. It's just weird.
Does anybody else feel like Nikki's really bringing the Christmas spirit right now?
I will any other time. Just not about this movie.
I just don't like that one because it's not good enough for me, Nikki.
I just don't feel like it deserves to be a classic.
Could you refer to me as Nikki the Great from now on, please? Because my name is Nikki, Grinch. And I am great. So just go ahead. Yeah, Nikki, I don't understand why you don't like it. I mean, I don't love it.
I feel like it's weird. I don't think it needs its cult status, but I feel like that's been wavering the last several years. You know, the people who enjoy it, I think, the most are maybe older now.
You know what? As someone who accidentally stumbled into the Christmas Story Marathon last year.
They still do that?
I can assure you that your perception that it's wavering is just that.
Just because they air it doesn't mean it's as popular.
No. That's not. I'm talking 26.2 miles. I'm talking downtown Cleveland.
The whole way.
Big screens showing the movie and thousands of people dressed like...
No, I thought by marathon you meant they still air the marathon on TV, like on TBS, but you mean the actual marathon.
You know, and I just noticed the way that you're trying to make it seem like something's real, whether it is or not. You're just saying no one likes it because you're finding some like-minded people, but I can assure you, Nikki...
There's still plenty that do?
You're intensely in the minority, and most people wonder what your problem is.
Especially in Cleveland. I mean, that's the somewhat still moneymaker.
They don't have... They have a lot and not a lot.
They don't have LeBron anymore,
so they need
still
this.
Have this.
They traded LeBron for Ralphie.
They still need the Christmas house, which you can go pay to see if you want.
You can, or you could just spend the night there. Did you guys see this?
Is it an Airbnb now, or what is it?
Kinda. So the house that was filmed for A Christmas Story, they supposedly lived in Indiana, but it's actually in Cleveland, Ohio. And
I thought it was a museum, though, but you can stay in it?
The museum is across the street.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can stay in the house, spend the night there, $395 a night.
Imagine what the price would be around Christmas, maybe even more than that.
Yeah, I don't think it's open for...
the whole year?
Bookings right now. No, I think it is open all year. Let's see. Open year-round, 7 days a week, except for major holidays. You mean...
Now, you want me to be
Christmas?
You want me to be negative again?
Yeah.
That's because no one would buy the house. You have to turn it into a bed and breakfast. You got to capitalize on that. No one wants to live in the house where that was supposedly, because then you'd have people driving past all the time.
They can make way more money renting it out.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and the Bumpus house, apparently, they also have the next door neighbor house. And it gets you admission into the... Rowley Inn, which is directly across the street.
Yeah, guests who stay overnight, access to the home's private third floor loft for the entirety of their stay, and the whole home, they have use from an hour after closing until 9 a.m. the following day, like you said.
Oh, that's not very long. And I'll have to tell you, this is not, even though this is the house where they shot the exteriors for the movie,
but not the
interiors.
Yeah.
So, they are trying to make it look like the Christmas Story thing, but, it's not. And I want to say hi to Kyle, who just texted. He said, I'm not sure that I should be proud of this or not. I'm 27. I just saw the Christmas Story for the first time last night. All I have to say is I want a new lamp now.
Hey, Kyle, we got a place for you to stay, too, if you want.
$395 a night.
They're excited to hear that you're really interested in the movie.
Mm-hmm. So you can get details at achristmasstoryhouse.com. And there's also details there on, I said the marathon, it's a 5K, 10K run. So 3.1 or 6.2 miles, that's up to you. Then
you got a place to stay when you're done.
Yeah, it's a little pricey.
Ever wonder what Nikki is doing when she isn't rioting? Find her Twitter feed at riot.radiou.com. Obadiah is there too, but who cares what he's doing?
In case you guys haven't been keeping score, I'm a Charlie Brown fan. In fact, I'll have to say, I think
you don't talk about it as much as you used to.
I think I might just be a huge fan of Vince Guaraldi's soundtrack to the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Well, you used to always say, lights, so please, good. And you had that thing all memorized.
It's so good. We'll just let it wash over you. Okay. I want you to know on the weekends, I build a fire and grab a book, and I just play this over and over and over again.
You're so more emotional than...
I sit by the tree, fire, this music...
This seems so, not emotional is not the right term, but you're so melodic.
Chill.
Chill with, that's it. Chill with your
super chill
stuff with this.
Get a nice cup of a peppermint kind of coffee.
In your mug, not a tumbler, because it's not a weekday.
Oh, no.
You can drink with an open, you can have an open container.
Absolutely.
On the weekend.
And you know what? The other thing about it that's great is that over the weekend I dug out my Christmas-themed mugs. Yeah. I have 3. Mm-hmm. And so I went ahead and began to...
In our studios, you have to have a lid on it. Mm-hmm. And even then, it's usually a lot more, like a double tumbler.
So if you're a fan of Charlie Brown, you can see some of these like older properties they're trying to make work. Like they've tried to do the Muppets multiple times and like they just haven't had anything that's really stuck. And the same thing with Charlie Brown. Like they have tried to do multiple Peanuts things. They did a special that came out.
They did the Peanuts movie.
5 or 6 years ago, they did a Peanuts movie, which is... That Peanuts movie's pretty good if you like Peanuts, which I do.
Someone just tuning in is like, what?
I love Peanuts. I like to go to those restaurants where you can throw the shells on the floor.
Not that type of Peanuts.
No, like Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
Well, you know what's going to be happening pretty soon is the people at Apple are going to be launching their own TV service, and they say that they're going to be launching a new series of Charlie Brown Peanuts cartoons.
But not holidays, just actual cartoons?
No, it'll just be cartoons. And so I don't know, like, will they be based on the... I don't know. We don't even know what that Apple TV service is going to be. Some people have said you'll pay for it. Other people say you buy an Apple product and you'll get it.
You've already paid for it.
Exactly. So... We don't know.
Kind of like at Amazon, it comes with it.
Mm-hmm. So the one argument that I keep hearing is that, unlike a lot of other premium services, that Apple is going to keep everything they put on their service, quote unquote, family friendly.
Yeah.
And so they want the most possible amount of eyes to be able to watch their products. So,
well, that's the hard part with me for either cartoons or if something has the look of a kid's show. I tend to like it if it's a little bit more edgier sometimes, so I don't know.
Peanuts isn't going to be that.
Yeah, and I don't know if they'll be able to hit that mark.
So I'm curious about it. Like, I've loved Charlie Brown since I was little. I've read, a couple years ago, I went through and read probably 10 years worth of Peanuts, which is a lot. But I pulled a bunch from the library, really enjoyed it. But of course, eventually you burn out.
Sure, but I bet you'll probably like this. You have a lot of warm memories associated with it, so you might enjoy it.
I'll at least give it a shot. And if it doesn't work out for me, I've got a Charlie Brown mug, T-shirt, a Christmas tree, and the soundtrack.
You're fine.
Give me some cookies and I'm good.
And an Apple TV already, so technically you bought everything.
It's the radio equivalent of going to McDonald's and ordering a fish fillet. Hey, that's one of my favorite things from McGee's. The worst of the riot on RadioU. So
over the weekend, Nikki saw a superhero movie that I've never seen before.
And that is normally the reverse of exactly what we always talk about.
What?
Yeah, I was surprised you haven't seen it.
What did you see?
I saw Teen Titans Go, which is one of my... When did I buy it? Was it Black Friday or Cyber Monday? But I watched the movie version of that.
Right. So
I actually really liked it. You would totally love it.
Okay.
I don't want to talk it up too much because then you might just be disappointed.
I have heard nothing but good things about it.
Dude, totally clever, very funny, but not like in a Burns sort of way, if that makes sense. But just really good. You would like it.
There you go. I could get it from Amazon for $13.
Yeah, I think when I bought it on sale, it was like $6 or $7 for the download. But I would say for that price, that's still worth it.
Okay.
You would like it over Christmas.
I have heard that it's hilarious.
It is.
In fact, the comment that I kept hearing was, it is the Deadpool movie, but for kids.
Yes. Well, no, I think even...
I'm
adults would enjoy it too, but there was this one part when they were trying to destroy all the superheroes so that they wouldn't grow up and be developed into the superhero.
Yeah.
And there's this one part where they take out Aquaman, and you're just gonna love it. You're just gonna very subtle. I really like subtle humor in movies, and that hit the mark.
Okay.
So I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay, well, I've never really watched the show.
Oh, I thought you did.
I've watched it a couple of times, but I never really felt like it really hit for me because I know a lot of people like it, and so I've tried it. But the idea of the movie, I have had multiple people say to me, look, This is the sleeper hit of the summer. You have to see this movie.
I was surprised. Doyle said if you're a old school Titans fan, you're going to be mad, but Teen Titans Go is hilarious. So yeah, I used to watch Teen Titans, the TV show. I watched a couple seasons of it.
You're talking about Teen Titans Go?
Go, yes.
Okay.
But for the movie, I liked it a lot.
Okay. Well, you know what? On your recommendation,
Yes.
I'm going to give that a shot.
I wish I could give it to you, and that's the problem. You don't buy a disc anymore,
Yeah,
but
the
I
digital
can't share
stuff.
it with you.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could share a digital copy. Like,
Let's just start sharing logins. My gosh.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, not when it's Amazon. Like,
There's-
Annie made some orders on your behalf.
The chances of things getting, awkward.
No, I know that's crossing the line.
Because I would be like, let's click through Nikki's order history. What's she been buying?
You'd be disappointed. It's just Teen Titans Go.
What have you been up to, Nikki?
Yeah, what have I been doing?
So, all right. Well, I'll give that a shot. I have several movies kind of that I need to check out. Venom, I think, just came out on
It did,
Blu-ray.
yeah. I've seen
which
some ads for that.
it feels like a hate watch, but I'll watch it. So that, Teen Titans Go.
I think you'll enjoy Teen Titans Go because you don't have to think about it. Like with Venom, I feel like you're right. It's a hate watch sort of thing.
Yeah.
And this, you can just pause your way through it if you want or take your time.
Well, you know what, Nikki? I can go home and tell my friends, like, hey, everybody, Nikki said this is really good.
Just trying to help you out, since I don't feel like you're watching enough superhero stuff.
It's a good call, Nikki. I've really let myself go.
Some have said that if you just keep listening to The Riot, you'll learn to love them. Has that really worked for anybody yet? Has anyone tested that? It's The Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, you like a good boot, right?
A boot?
Yeah.
I used to be in a little Doc Martin phase. Those were only the boots that I've worn, but sure.
That's it? You never had a...
Cowboy boots or
something?
nothing. Snow boots. I have some snow boots.
Snow boots. What about like a... what do you call it?
Wellies?
What about like an ankle?
An ankle boot? No.
Wellies are very in, Nikki.
They are, absolutely.
I want you to know that
especially in areas where it doesn't rain.
On Forza Horizon 4, I have gotten many, many colored wellies in those stupid super wheel spins. Instead of a car, I got a wellie for my custom character.
They're very popular.
Oh, I love them. I sure do. I really, really do. Where were we? Oh.
Boots.
The boots of your dreams, Nikki.
I can buy?
This is the boot that you're looking for. This is the one.
What is it?
It's Neil Armstrong's boot.
Oh, it's a space boot.
It's a space boot.
That's worse.
You can have a space boot.
I hate boots and I hate space. Give me a space boot and that's terrible.
No. It cancels each other out. And suddenly it becomes the #1 hit Christmas boutique gift item.
No, to me, like the most boot, I still have Uggs, so that kind of counts
That's
as
a
a boot
boot?
to me. That is.
So, like, you wear these like they're Uggs. Because, they're going to be bulky because they're space boots.
They are.
And just to be clear, it's not space boots, it's space boot. But you could begin a fashion trend.
Only get one.
Different kinds of boots, or you just wear one.
Are these
boot.
going for auction or are they going into a museum?
No, you said, are they?
I'm sorry, the one. I'm used to a pair. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. These do not come in a pair.
Where'd the other one go?
I don't know.
Is it in space?
Well, unfortunately, full disclosure, this boot has never been in space.
Oh, well, then what are we bidding on it for?
We think it might have been a training boot. But it was still part of the space program, and it still says Armstrong right there.
Right there on it.
That is a custom boot. It also looks like the outside of it looks like the container that you go ahead and put a Dairy Queen hot dog in. Here, just
let me see
do you see
laptop.
the foil container?
Oh, it does. It looks like those Frito things. What's the
walking taco?
The walking taco sort of thing. Or if you buy a hot dog.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like. So,
we can make our own.
That's what I was just about to say.
Space food hack. Coming to the Riot YouTube channel.
It's the one life hack we're all looking for.
Oh
you want to have space boots, but who can afford them at $49,000?
We take a tissue box and a hot dog wrapper, and we got a boot.
You guys are going to have to head down to your local Dairy Queen. Now, just to be clear, you can actually purchase the hot dogs, or if you can find someone sympathetic to your cause, they might give you a couple of hot dog containers.
No, we can get the hot dog Costco wrapper from the food court. That'll totally work, too.
That would work, too. You know what else would work? It would be like oh my gosh, here comes the full circle, sit down.
Okay.
It could be an Arby's sandwich wrap. And we purchase those sandwiches
for Thursday,
for the Riot's Ugly Christmas Sweater Part 2 this Thursday night.
Okay.
And then afterwards, we take those and we make space boots.
Oh, my gosh. That's what we do on Friday.
Oh, my
Now,
gosh.
is this disrespectful? Because we really we would want a boot that's been in space. But what if we took our little space boot and we put it on a little rocket that we also
shot it
made?
into space?
And it won't make it. I mean, it'll only go like just a few feet.
That's why we'll make a weather balloon.
And then we'll send it up. We'll do an up thing. We'll see how high it can go.
See how far we can take it.
I like these ideas better than I do buying the space boot.
Okay.
So it's $45,000.
It went for about $40,000. A couple of other things: a signed picture of Armstrong, a series of Apollo 11 engineers' manuals, and a Soviet spacesuit. They ended up all selling, I guess, in one lot for about $110,000. So, yeah.
I wish I liked space, but boy, that just sounds miserable.
You know what I wish? I wish I had $110,000 to just be like, oh, I don't know. Do you want a boot? What do you think?
That's discretionary income.
You mean a pair? No, just a boot.
And while we talked about earlier, you bought a toy. You
for
bought
$45.
You bought a TIE fighter on clearance.
You know what? I guess it's
giant one. So you're like the boot guy.
It's just a matter of scale.
Yeah, you're buying space stuff. He bought space stuff. Like, you're the same.
We're the same person.
So I don't know. You shouldn't be sad.
Oh, I'm not sad.
Unless you want to try to get your TIE fighter into space.
You know
and
what?
you can sign it.
Weather balloon.
Mm-hmm.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
I just heard from, where did it go? Shoot. Nikki, do you have it over there? The guy that was texting us about the Aquaman?
Yeah, that was Joel.
Joel went to see Aquaman. He says, good morning. Saw Aquaman via Amazon Prime and Adam early screening at AMC on Saturday. We both liked it. The visual, story, and action made a big splash on the screen. Joel, you just felt like that was the point at which it feels like you got paid to text me. I asked her after she told me she liked it, are you saying that because of Jason Momoa? He went with his wife. Her answer was she honestly didn't realize how powerful Aquaman is.
Because it's Jason Momoa?
Is that
like,
why?
I can't tell what the response really was. People say he's really good as Aquaman. Like, the reviews said some of the other parts maybe fall under the boring category, but the people who were acting in it were actually quite good, more than you thought, so it helps make it better.
I do think that. I still stand by the poor man's Thor. Aquaman just feels like poor man's Thor to me.
I don't think so, but maybe if you're not coming, because it is Jason Momoa.
You're just staring at his pecs and his long locks.
I do like long hair, but I think to me, as someone who doesn't really pay attention to Aquaman from like the comic books, I don't have that perception of Aquaman. Like, this is the only perception I have
of him. Well, I just feel like I don't feel like Aquaman of the comics is poor man's Thor.
But people make fun of that all the time.
I feel like Aquaman, as presented to us in Justice League, was poor man's Thor.
Oh, really?
Oh,
what was that one?
Gosh, you haven't seen Justice League?
Shocker, but no. I'll search it. Justice League.
Yeah, that was the movie that came out last year.
Oh, that one. Okay. Who did they put as it?
No, it's Jason Momoa.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. I just feel like his portrayal of that character is poor man's Thor. He's just like, what's up, brah? Like, if Thor was a frat guy, that was pretty much it. He's just like...
Well, he needed his own movie to develop the character.
All right. I hope so. Listen, let's be clear. I'm always rooting for the movie.
You are.
I'm not rooting against it.
No, I understand.
I'm not rooting against it. I
still
want
shocked.
it to be good.
The Spider-Man animated movie made $35 million over the weekend.
That's what I need to see.
Everybody was shocked at that. And then this week you have Aquaman, you have Mary Poppins, and you have Bumblebee.
Which no one's going to see.
So those are the three options, too.
Maybe I'm wrong, though. Dana said that she saw the Spider-Man movie over the weekend.
Loved it.
She absolutely loved it. Dave went to see the Deadpool, Once Upon a Deadpool, and he said he really liked the scenes with Fred Savage in it. Nikki and I stayed home. Actually, I didn't stay home. I went out with friends, but like...
I mean, you just didn't go to the movie theater?
I didn't. I went to a Christmas party, and then I went out to dinner, and then Sunday I didn't go to the movies on Sunday.
We don't have to we don't have to tell people like we have an excuse. Like, we didn't need to go to the theaters anyways.
I feel like I need an excuse that I didn't go to the movies.
No, I think people expected you to see the Spider-Man one, and based on your text messages, are a little disappointed in you for not going.
Okay, do you want to know why? Here's why I didn't go on Friday, okay? I had to be here at 3 a.m. on Friday.
Yes.
Because I was training somebody. And then when I got off work and I went home, I was like, I can't even see straight. I'm so tired. And so instead of going to see Spider-Man like I should have,
like a baby,
I went home and went to bed.
You could have been relaxing in the movie theater.
No, I didn't want to suffer through that because this one time it was right around Christmas and Tron came out and I was so tired and I went to see Tron and this guy mouthed off at me in the movie theater. I didn't do anything wrong. I just sat down. He started making a bunch of nasty comments about my phone and I was so mad. I was barely able to enjoy the movie. And to this day, my brain is still thinking up witty responses to the man in the theater who I managed to control myself and say nothing at all. So I don't need another replay of that, Nikki.
You don't want to go to the theater tired and lose everything?
Do you guys see how much went into the decision to just go
Apparently
home?
a lot.
A lot went into the decision.
Went in. Maybe they would have been more respectful in Spider-Man.
You never know, Nikki.
Better not to. Know. I see we're still a bit intense about it.
Oh, I feel fine. I'm just letting you know where I was coming from.
I feel like it can just pop out anytime.
Well, Nikki, with this job, we have to be willing to
let
be
those
transparent.
emotions go, yeah.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
I'm going to hold the bag, and you have to make piggy sounds while you eat out of the bag. No hands.
That's